It was a big shot Vancouver businessman who put me and my wife in business. We had a business, but what a business. She'd got into this little auto court from her dad when he died out on the Fraser Highway, and we were paying $18 a month rent in Vancouver, and I was just doing odd jobs and she was clerking. We were going downhill fast, so we moved out there. It was a run-down sort of an affair. Our house, which was okay because the old man had kept it up, and 6 little cabins scattered around 4 acres among old apple trees. There was a little stream. It was kind of pretty. Business was so-so on the weekends, picked up in July and August, and there was nothing in spring and summer, autumn too. And if we got the $72 for taxes and could pay the light and water and our food and radio and truck payments, we didn't ask for more. We would just wait out the hard times. One afternoon, this big car comes rolling in the drive, a big brown Advance 6 Nash. Fella got out and wanted a cabin. He paid his $1 and drove around to it. About 2 hours later, he drove back out. You see, he had this girl with him. He was maybe 50. He came into the office, and you could tell he was a businessman, right to the point. A nice little place we had. Nice spin out of the city, an hour's drive. But why didn't we put a rug on the floor and a hot plate and some coffee pot and some sugar and coffee and a couple cups to sort of clear the place out behind the cabin where he could park his car? I caught on to what he was telling me. Increase your capital investment. Increase your services. Increase your price. The wife and I had kind of turned a blind eye to this sort of thing. The big city businessmen bringing their girlfriends or private secretaries out on Friday afternoon, stopping for a couple hours. Let's say we didn't encourage it, but by 5 p.m., you got new sheets on the bed and rinsed out the glasses, and you can rent it out again. This fella said everything else was fine. The bathroom was nice and clean, and that was important. But maybe we should stock up on ice. Chipped ice it was in those days, chipped off a 50-pound block with a chipper. He said he wouldn't mind paying $2.50 for an afternoon, and he added that would be once a week. By the by, he owned a big store, and later on he'd bring us out a smoked ham as a gift. He's a very friendly man. He also said that he knew his friends, some of them, wouldn't mind paying $2.50 for a nice cabin in the woods. On second thought, he says, charge him $3, and that's how it started. First a few, our Mr. X and his friends, then businessmen from Seattle with their girlfriends. Now you see, it was too far from Harrison Hot Springs for an afternoon. And my place was clean and out of the way, and we kept our mouths shut, and if they wanted a tray, say around 4 in the afternoon, my wife would put out some sandwiches and cookies and tea, put it by the back door, knock 3 times and leave. That was another $1. Then Mr. X phoned and asked if a man named Mr. So-and-so had phoned asking for a cabin, and we said yes. And he said not to give him one, say we were full. And I asked why. And he said the fellow was trash. My wife didn't like that, and she asked what kind of place we were running, a whorehouse for the friends of this man, this Mr. X? I said no, nothing like that. I told her our little ma and pa court, that's what they were called in those days, is performing a social service, a vital necessity to the business community of Vancouver. She wasn't pleased, not pleased at all with my wit, and she said, that's it, we're selling out. I said, okay. She was the gunner. It had been her dad's business, and it was in her name, and it had been very, very good to us in the past 3 years since Mr. X had come along, and I said, okay. I'm not exactly in love with it either. I phoned Mr. X at his downtown office, and he asked me how much, and I said we'd take $5,000, and that was a hell of a lot more than it was worth. He said, I'll be out there this afternoon. Tell Annie to be ready to sign on the dotted line. He knew a damn good business, a growth business, when he saw it. Sex.